Texting. Mayday. 109er 6478, whatever the fuck that number is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Welcome back to this mid-sack on a scintillating slug 'em down, suck 'em back, whatever you want to stoke 'em up.
Slug 'em down.
Slug 'em down Saturday.
Smoke 'em up.
Smoke 'em up. Yep, that too. It would all apply, boys and girls. Welcome back to IDD for those of you who know I don't disagree. For those of you who just discovered your new favorite show on Saturday night, that is the redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo. I am the highly questionable one, Andre Miliaccio. Segment 1, pick segment, Week 2 NFL.
That's right.
We both got Thursday night right, but by default because nobody in the right mind was picking Minnesota. Who doesn't live in Minnesota? Let's put it that way.
I didn't think it'd be as close as
no one did. And given Minnesota had 4 turnovers, that has blowout written all over it. But a funny thing happened on the way to that blowout. Philly's defense can't stop a nosebleed all of a sudden. So this is the second week in a row that a quarterback who's not what. Cousins is borderline Pro Bowl. He's close. He's good. I don't know if he's great, but he's good.
He puts up Pro Bowl numbers.
He did the other night. Yeah. He put up 364. And he does have Sean Jefferson, who's probably the best receiver in the NFL. Justin Jefferson, who's probably the best receiver in the NFL. It's him and Tyreek Hill. Pick one of them. All right, they're both great. So anyway, so we both had Philly on that. We're going to go through the picks tonight in segment 1. Then we'll take a break, come back, segment 2. We're going to talk about that rule that happened the other night that, to his point, changed the outcome of that game, or changed the course of that game, because Minnesota was going in to take the lead. That was a 10-point swing, because Philly got the field goal at the end of the half.
It was 10-7.
Yeah, and it was 14-10.
Minnesota's going in, and Jefferson fumbles through the end zone.
And everybody's been up in arms about this. He and I are going to talk about this. He actually has an interesting possible solution to this, and I want to break it down because I think it makes sense. We'll go over that in segment 2, because by the way, the second segment, you know what's happening out in Boulder tonight, right? Somebody doesn't like to talk to somebody, around about somebody's mom with sunglasses and hats on. So we're going to get into all that in segment 2.
My mom told me to take my hat and glasses off.
My mom told me to be you and fuck everybody else. Okay, that's what my mom taught me. Okay, be yourself. If they don't like it, fuck them in the ass with a dildo. Okay, that's it.
Whoa.
So those weren't her words.
Ouch! Your mom was a real tough one.
Those are my father's words. My mother was like, what he said. Anyway, so we're going to break down.
I was 4 years old when my dad told me that.
Probably not far off, knowing my old man. See, I wish he could have met my old man, because he would have, oh my God. The quotes you would have gotten off him, oh my God. You would have sat there and been like, I didn't even know you could make a sentence out of that word. But the man did it. He was a legend in his own time, trust me. Anyway, segment 1, week 2 matchups. We're going to go down the list. He killed me last week. He went 10-5. I went 7-8. I got to get off the schneid here, people. I'm not going to be taking as many risks this week. Well, there's a couple, but I'm going to be a little more.
Similar to my baseball team, I usually get out of the gates quick.
Yeah. But he went 10-5. Very impressive. Week 1's very hard to pick. Week 1 might be the toughest week of all, because at that point, you don't know. You just don't know.
But
so we go 10-5. That's impressive.
But as hard as week 1 is, the overreactions make week 2 even
almost as hard. Yeah. No, it's not going to be.
Because you don't know what was real.
And I don't know how many of you actually looked at the schedule yet, but there's a lot of intriguing matchups tomorrow. Let's not sleep on week 2. And you're going to be around for some of this tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be around.
We're going to watch
day.
the one. Yeah, this will be good. So we can actually watch some of these games together and yell at each other. This will be fun. And by the way, if you haven't seen that yet, that's worth the price of admission all by itself. And it could just be anything that sets us off, a routine call. And,
no, that wasn't out.
A bad camera angle. It could just anything could set off a melee. All right, so it's all good.
It's typically when we start arguing over, was that a catch? Was that a fumble?
It seems to always start with a catch.
Yeah. Was that a penalty?
Maybe because when I played receiver, so I get angry about that.
We argue about penalties.
We do. Well, that shouldn't be the rule, goddammit. That's usually my response.
I know that's what they called, but I don't agree.
Does it make sense? No. Anyway, game 1, first one on the schedule, Green Bay at Atlanta. Both these teams got off to impressive week 1 starts. Green Bay was on the road, took care of Chicago. Atlanta at home held off Carolina. That running back that he drafted looks every bit the stud that he thinks he is. He's not wrong. But this is 2 good running games, because Green Bay has a good running game as well, going at each other down in hot Atlanta. So we're going to start off with that one. This is going to be a good game.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one right off the bat.
I kind of like Green Bay.
I kind of like Green Bay because the one difference is we both know Green Bay has the better quarterback.
Yeah.
The running games are similar. But again, Green Bay, Chicago's D might be the worst in the league. That D might be the worst in the league.
That's sad.
They're bad. You never think of Chicago's defense being.
Supposed to have a D.
They're supposed to always, if everything goes wrong in the Windy City, they're supposed to have a defense. Now again, That's the 85 Bears' fault because they set a standard that no one will probably ever live up to. But
Yeah, but then they had Urlacher for all those years. I mean,
they were good. They were very good. But again,
always been tough
there was always that team, that 18-1 team that blew out my Patriots 46-10 in the Super Bowl. Okay, and they had characters like Ureta. Plus, they had Walter Payton. Oh my God, that team was loaded. But in any event, I think we both are leaning towards Green Bay on this one.
Yeah. Well, I was reading something that said Atlanta's linebackers hurt.
The middle linebacker?
Mm-hmm. Which is going to hurt them.
That's their run stopper usually.
You
In
know,
the
so-
secondary, they've got a front four, but yeah, the
So
guy.
we're both going GB.
We're both gonna go with Green Bay on that one.
Is Aaron Jones out of that game?
I don't know. That's the other thing. I don't know.
Because I read something about that too.
I thought he was questionable,
Maybe he's just
but
questionable.
that was on Wednesday. I haven't seen it since.
I think I'll still lean Green Bay.
They got two running
It's-
backs.
It's more because of what you said.
Yeah, I think the
Jordan
quarterback,
Love.
Jordan
over
Love.
Desmond Ritter.
I don't think Atlanta can throw the football, and until they prove otherwise, a team like Green Bay who can run and throw it is, and by the way, Green Bay's defense isn't nearly as bad as So
Now Green Bay's number one receiver is probably going to be out again.
didn't seem to bother him last week.
That's true.
They've got other weapons and they know how to use them. And by the way, I'll tell you what, this Jordan Love kid, don't sleep on
It
him.
might be good.
I think he's going to be good. I think he might be better than good.
What were his numbers last week?
They were impressive. He threw.
Do you have them readily available?
Yes, I do. I do. It was. He was 15 for 27, 245 yards, 3 touchdown passes.
No picks.
No picks. He ran 3 carries, 4 yards, so 4 yards a carry. Good. Good.
I mean, for your
He was
first
good.
for your first game.
First starting game on the road, 3 touchdown passes. I mean, again, 15 for 27. But again, he
Right,
was
that's not
missing.
great.
No, but he was missing his number one receiver,
Yeah.
and he did that. But the thing,
But 15 passes and 245. You said
that's
that's a pretty good average per pass.
yeah, it is. So
He must have had some long completions.
yeah, Jones, the running back, I believe, had Aaron Jones. Whoever had him in fantasy went off. I think it was my brother Pete. He kicked my ass. He had 41 yards rushing a touchdown. He had 86 yards receiving a touchdown on 2 catches. 2 catches, 86 yards. That's quite an average.
That's where Jordan Love picked up a lot of his.
Yeah. Musgrave had 3 for 50. Reed had 2 for 48. I mean, all these guys had good averages.
I sent Brian something off Twitter for Musgrave.
Yeah.
Because remember the other night he was trying to decide Pitts or Musgrave?
Yes.
And I was like, and they said the linebacker for Atlanta's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So Musgrave, like, he's their pass. He's their coverage linebacker.
Coverage linebacker,
So
yeah.
they were like, Musgrave's
Probably
a good play
Yeah,
this weekend.
I think he is. Did he pick him up?
I think he was going to. Yeah.
It's a good move if he did.
Yeah.
So we're both going to go with Green Bay on that
Green
one.
Bay.
Game 2, the Raiders, the 1-0 Las Vegas Raiders at Buffalo.
Took down Sean Payton. Oh, that's an easy one for me.
Yeah, I think it's Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because I can't see Buffalo going 0-2 out of the
No.
gate, and I can't see Josh Allen having 4 turnovers again. So, again?
Yeah, not against that defense either.
No.
He
The
had
Jets
4
have a
Right.
elite
Yeah,
defense.
exactly.
Now, again, he forced those, but yeah, still. The Raiders don't have a good defense at all. They don't. Denver's just offense is anemic.
It's terrible.
And by the way, Russell Wilson had good numbers in that game. I think it's more about the play calling. Jordy was out too. His number one receiver didn't play.
Oh,
He was
Judy?
Judy. Yeah, he's out. He didn't play either.
Judy.
So that didn't hurt. But Russell Wilson didn't have a bad game given he was missing his number one receiver. But they just didn't put up enough points. Defense only gave up 17. So anyway,
I would be very surprised if Denver wins that game.
you mean Vegas?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're both going to go with Buffalo on that one. Next one. This one is very interesting. Baltimore at Cincinnati. This is a tough one. There's no way Cincinnati's as bad as they looked last week. They just have too many weapons. Burrow missed most of the preseason, and it looked like he missed most of the preseason because he was throwing balls in the dirt at the feet of guys named Higgins and Boyd and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, well,
I can't
how about Lamar?
Lamar didn't look much better.
Well,
But they were at home, right? They were at home and they were playing the Texans. Texans aren't as good as Cleveland. Cleveland has an offense.
Yeah.
Cleveland has an offense.
But
The Texans really don't.
The thing that I want to know is Mark Andrews playing?
That's a good question.
Who has him? Is it DJ?
I think he. I don't know. Let me see.
Yes.
Yeah. Does it say?
Doesn't look like Andrews is questionable.
He's questionable still.
That's a big difference in this game.
Yeah.
Because if you go from having Odell, Flowers, and Mark Andrews.
Well, Mark Andrews is his binky.
Right.
He is.
So
you got to have that
him,
guy. Yeah.
I think I got to go Cincy in this
Yeah,
game.
I agree with you. I think it's Cincinnati because I can't see Burrow throwing for 82 yards again. Not at home. And I got news for you. If he stinks up the first half, he might get booed because he's just signed the largest contract in NFL history. 275. And by the way, you should have seen the Cincinnati web pages this week. 275 million equals 82 yards passing.
Dude, he had less
Great
points
deal.
than Lamar last week.
He had less points.
He had like
than
3
Lamar.
points in fantasy.
Yeah, neither one of these two is as bad. But again, to his point, if Mark Andrews is out,
There's no, I don't see it. Yeah.
I don't see it.
But,
so I agree. I think Cincinnati, yeah, on that one. The next one, Seattle at Detroit. Wow, talk about a disappointment. If it wasn't for the Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they were the other one that didn't show up.
and the Rams just smacked the
at
shit out of them.
home with no Cooper Kupp. They were at home. The Rams didn't have Cooper Kupp, and some guy who we still can't name lit them up like a Christmas tree.
Was it Van Jefferson? I don't even know if it was him.
It wasn't him. It was a guy we've never heard of.
Yeah, I saw somebody pick him up.
In fact,
in
his
fantasy.
name is kind of weird too. Yeah, he lit them up.
Detroit
has had
right?
10 days off, and they just went into Kansas City and won. Detroit's winning this game. Seattle's not going to stop that offense. Detroit has one of the top 3 or 4 offensive lines in the entire NFL. They're going to run it right down Seattle's throat, and it's at home, and I don't see it. I have Detroit in that one.
Yeah. Tough to pick Seattle.
Next one. Now, this one, because what's his name? The L.A. Chargers at the Tennessee Titans. Titans almost won. They lost by 1 point in New Orleans, who has a defense, I might add. And their quarterback did his usual I suck at life Tannehill, 3 picks again. And he has DeAndre Hopkins. He threw 3 picks anyway. Okay? Now, but
they can't score.
But
with
Austin
these.
Eckler is out.
Oh, that's right.
He's out.
He's out.
This is where this gets interesting. And let's be honest here. The Chargers, if their coach wasn't this is the other problem. Their coach is an absolute moron. The coaching edge here is definitely Mike Vrabel. Only someone who is sniffing glue or this high on meth is covering Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill man-to-man for an entire game.
Is this game in Nashville?
Without a shutdown corner.
Is this game in Nashville?
This game is in Nashville. That's the other thing. Tennessee has a defense. Vrabel is the much better coach.
Do they have corners?
But they have Ryan Tannehill.
I know.
This is
That
the problem.
sucks.
This game might be the hardest one to pick because you can literally
I
see.
think that makes it easy.
Yeah, it makes it the Chargers because see, this guy can't. This guy can't.
Because
go
the Chargers
toe-to-toe.
are still going to be able to put up points. I know Eckler is probably half their offense.
Their coordinator is the old Dallas Cowboy coordinator who proved last week he didn't lose his
Moore.
he didn't lose his fastball, not at all.
Yeah, but that was against Miami's fucking right. Didn't they play Miami?
Yeah, but I don't know how much better Tennessee's D is than Miami.
They're better than them.
I don't know.
Dude, they're a good run-stopping team at least.
Oh, I don't think the Chargers are going to run the ball.
Well,
Without Austin Eckler, I think they're going to line up in a shotgun and test that secondary.
all right, so we both say Chargers.
I think we both say Chargers, but we're doing it with our noses in the air because there's some real stink fest going on.
Well,
with some of
to
those.
your point, it'd be nice to pick Tennessee because Vrabel is so much better.
I
as a
don't trust
coach.
Ryan Tannehill any farther than I can throw him. I don't.
Vrabel can't coach beyond that.
Nope. You have to have a quarterback in this
Yeah.
league, and Tennessee has not had a quarterback since Aaron McNair. Let's be real.
Steve.
Steve Aaron McNair.
Oh, Aaron McNair.
Aaron McNair.
Oh, I thought you called him Aaron McNair.
No, Aaron. Next game.
Was he murdered?
He died. I don't remember how.
Didn't his girlfriend kill him?
I don't. Maybe. I forget how.
Let me just check that because that's quite the accusation.
He is dead, unfortunately.
Steve
I don't remember if it was by murder or.
He was, yeah.
Yeah. Was it his girlfriend?
He was killed in an apartment, murder-suicide with a young woman.
So he killed the girl and then shot himself?
No, I think she
killed him and shot
him. Yeah.
Oh Lord. That's awful.
Yeah.
I remember that story, and it was eerie.
Yeah. So he
eerie.
had several gunshot wounds, including one to the head.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And the woman was 20.
Yeah.
So she was much younger.
Uh-huh.
She had a single gunshot wound to her head. So
that's called bang, 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 bang. It's me or nobody. And he went, everybody, and that was it. And then she put one in her head. Yep, that's awful. Awful.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to bring the mood down.
Yep. This one.
What's the next one?
Chicago at Tampa Bay. I think we just look. Baker Mayfield actually looked pretty good in Week 1, and Chicago's D, I think everybody agrees, is the worst in the NFL. And now they're going down to Tampa Bay, who won in Minnesota, who damn near beat Philly. So maybe Tampa Bay isn't so bad, and that defense in Tampa Bay is for real. Tampa Bay held Minnesota to 17 points. The same Minnesota who, despite 4 turnovers, lit up Philly's D in Philly on a short week. Tampa's D is good.
Last score, though, was
2017. Well, the last one was what? That onside kick was a joke. That might have been the worst onside kick ever.
Remember they scored 7 with like no time left.
They had 27 seconds left.
Right. So they made it 28.
Yeah. But they had 4 turnovers, and if it wasn't for that one that
true.
turned the game around, that was a 14.
I don't know. Part of me wants to say Chicago's going to bounce back in this game.
Tampa's D is too good.
Think so?
Yeah. They proved it last week because they didn't force 4 turnovers, and they held Minnesota on the road to 17 points. And Minnesota did not have 4 turnovers.
Minnesota lost that game at home to them?
Yep, 20-17. So I know Chicago's defense is worse than Minnesota's, and they're on the road. I know that.
All right, this is where I'm going to flip it up. I'm going Chicago.
I'm going Tampa Bay at home.
Okay.
This one, Donnybrook number 2, Kansas City at Jacksonville.
That is a hard one.
Potential AFC Championship preview.
Travis Kelce
He is playing. This one, Calvin Ridley is now the number 1 in Jacksonville.
Bona fide. You called it.
Yep.
I mean, that was never in doubt.
No, but I said by the end of the first quarter, turned out by the middle of the first quarter.
Who was
the guy who had 1,000 yards? Remember, they had a 1,000-yard receiver. I forget his name. No one knew him because Jacksonville kind of snuck up on everybody and went on Michigan and made the playoffs in the last. Yeah. But that dude's he's the number 2 and he's legit. And they got Travis Etienne, the running back there. He's a stud. Yeah. Look, Jacksonville is foaming at the mouth for this game. Kansas City does not have as good a weapons as Jacksonville, and it's on the road. Now, Chris Jones is also going to play.
Yeah.
This is very interesting.
KC.
Patrick Mahomes is going to play better just because Travis Kelce is out there. And until...
Maybe what's-his-face will not play.
Who?
Kadarius Toney.
I can't imagine he's going to play.
You've got to.
I can't imagine he's going to play. I think they're going to punish him. They didn't cut him, but I think he's going to spend. And I'm not saying he won't play at all, but I don't think he's going to start. I don't think so.
So who do you like? It seems like you're leaning KC.
No, I like Jacksonville in a shootout.
Okay, I had started writing Jacks for you.
I have Jacksonville in a shootout.
I got KC.
Yeah.
That's a toss-up.
And again, it's a toss-up game. And if KC wins, I won't be surprised. But I just think Jacksonville has more firepower. I think Jacksonville kind of did this on the calendar with this one because they lost to them last year in the AFC divisional round, and they didn't forget it. And I think they want to prove. And by the way, Jacksonville wants to prove something, that they are an elite team. And this actually is how you would do it because KC is going to be at full strength.
So after seeing KC on Thursday, I would have said Jacksonville's a more complete team. But then...
You had 2 Pro Bowlers. One on each side of the ball.
But then also, who did Jacksonville play last week?
At Indy, and they won 31-21.
But it was close.
Yeah, because your rookie running back is what you thought
Quarterback.
He was. Yeah, he's good.
Anthony Richardson.
That kid is good. That kid has a shot at Rookie of the Year if he stays healthy. Look at his numbers from last week.
Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
I didn't really see much.
He got hurt and didn't finish the game, mind you. Okay.
What do you have? 2 scores.
He had 2 touchdown passes. He had a touchdown run. He ran. Wow. Yeah. He was the offense.
Yeah.
And he's a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
Look, if you have a dual threat quarterback and he's actually a dual threat quarterback, you're always going to have a puncher's chance in this league.
Yeah, so I don't know. Seeing them struggle with Indy a little bit.
We're going to know a little bit more about the Colts. That's the next game, actually. But I think the Colts are going to be better than people think they are if this kid stays healthy because they have a quarterback who, if his offensive line fails him, he can get around it. He can get around it. And last year they had 34-year-old Matt Ryan, who does not. He can't do that stuff anymore.
So you think they surprised Jacksonville a little bit?
I think they did because nobody had a book on this kid. Nobody knew anything about him. So Jacksonville still won the game on the road handily, but that kid looked every bit the player you said he could be.
Yeah.
And now we'll see going forward. But if he looks, or if he is the way he looked, Indy has something.
Yeah.
They have something.
Well, he's got to.
They don't have a defense, though.
He really also has to, like, he can't be running through people the way he did.
No,
in Florida.
he can't be fucking.
I know he's big.
He
but
can't be Josh Allen here. You got to be smart. You got to be
He'd
smart.
just get killed.
I will refer to Cam Newton on this forever because his career was over at 30 because of that shit. And he won a league MVP and he got
Lowering
to a
the
Super Bowl,
shoulder, yeah.
but his career was over because he kept doing what Josh Allen still thinks he can do, and it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. And my father said this: those quarterbacks that run in their 20s are limping in their 30s, and it's true. It's true. So anyway, I like Jacksonville. He likes KC. That could be the best game of the weekend, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Is that a 4:00 game?
That is 1:00.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 1:00.
I wonder if it's on.
Of course. You think that game is not on?
I guarantee you.
CBS has that game at 1:00.
Right, but because of where we are,
we don't have the ticket.
We'll get Baltimore.
and Cincinnati, which is still a good
That's
game.
a good game,
Yeah,
actually,
it is.
too.
Yeah, as long as we're getting
All right,
the
well,
shit.
either way, we'll be okay.
Next game, the last 1:00 game, Indianapolis, and that guy who's back.
Is in?
Yeah, at Houston, who played Baltimore very tough on the road. Houston has a defense.
Defensive line was active.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you, they bottled up.
Ryans,
They did a good job on Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
They kept him in check.
Yes.
He did not go crazy on them.
No, I mean, they forced turnovers. That's why I don't know if that was more Lamar rusty. I mean, obviously, it was that defense.
Well, he didn't have his tight end. That hurt him.
Yeah.
The two receivers who are multi-talented, he got to one of them. He really didn't get to Odell. I would imagine they spent the bulk of the week putting in. See, here's what I don't get. Because when you have, and we've talked about this before about other elite receivers. If you have a guy like that, you have a package of plays just for him. The Patriots had him for Gronkowski. The 49ers had, this goes back to when I was a kid. The 49ers had a package of plays just for Jerry Rice. The Minnesota Vikings had him for Randy Moss. If you got a dude like that, okay, you have a package of plays for him.
What did he catch, one pass?
He caught one pass. It was like a 30-something yard down the
was a beautiful
sideline. It was a
pass.
beautiful throw. And I'm like, where was
And a
that
great
the first?
catch,
Yeah. But he can do other things. Like, why was you? Why? You know, he probably was only targeted.
I think he was under pressure a lot, though.
Well, they could have double teamed him, but and again, the front seven for Houston. We said this in preseason. I said D'Amico Ryans, the coach, who was the architect of that elite 49er defense. He was the coordinator, and when the Texans were good, he was the middle linebacker of that defense.
That's right.
And he had J.J. Watt in front of him.
Yeah.
That defense was really good. They went to the playoffs like 4 or 5 years in a row. And DeAndre Hopkins in his prime was the receiver. And they had Deshaun Watson. That team was loaded.
Damn, they should have been. They should have gone farther.
Well, they lost to the Patriots twice.
Okay.
With Brady, so they stopped him twice.
There you go.
And I think they ran into Mahomes once at the end of it, like in Mahomes' rookie year or something. But somebody else, or maybe it was the Steelers. I forget. Some other elite quarterback got him out, knocked him out too. But anyway, they had talent. They had a lot of talent. So anyway, he was a part of that core, and he was a linebacker, very good linebacker. He was a very good defensive coordinator at San Francisco.
He played in Philly too.
He played in Philly too later on in his career. Yeah, this guy knows defense, and he did a hell of a job. For whatever reason, they slowed Lamar Jackson last week.
Yeah.
On the road, they did this. So,
That's
but
an
now
interesting game because
it
C.J.
is.
Stroud versus Anthony Richardson.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah, this is a very interesting game. And the question is, was the Indy game a matter of, to his point, well, Jacksonville hadn't seen this kid and had no tape on him, which is very possible, or is that kid really what he looks like?
I'm going with my guy.
I figured you were going.
AR-15.
I'm torn.
You like Houston?
No, I don't know. I'm torn on this one. This is another coin flip game.
I mean,
it's a coin flip game. I think Houston has the better defense. I don't know how good Baltimore's defense is. So, because Houston only put up 9 points, but they were on the road. They don't have a lot of weapons in the passing game.
I know.
They have a running back.
C.J. Stroud.
They have a running back who's
Daniel
good.
Peterson.
Yeah, he's legit. But I don't know.
I mean, who are their receivers?
I don't know.
Because at least on Indy, you know Michael Pittman.
He's good, and he proved he was good. Yeah, he almost had 100 yards and a touchdown last week. He was good. I don't know.
Now, I think C.J. Stroud has Dalton Schultz.
He has the tight end from Dallas.
Right? Was it Schultz?
Yeah.
But he didn't do shit last week.
No, because Jacksonville, I think, keyed on him because they knew. They knew he was the only guy he probably had in the passing game. So I don't know. It's really about, can Houston's defense... Well, look, they balled up Lamar Jackson, who at this point is better than that kid.
Right.
But I don't know if Lamar's... This kid can pass. This kid was a good thrower at Florida. He didn't get drafted high because of his legs. He's a dual-threat quarterback. Yeah. He's a legit dual-threat quarterback. So that's
what do you think?
And C.J. Stroud is the other... He's Houston.
He's less of a duel, right? He's more of just a thrower. C.J. Stroud. He was the
Ohio
State,
State,
right?
he had weapons like you read about.
Yeah.
He had Jigba. He had that.
He had Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, they were. He had weapons. Both those guys are also in the NFL right now.
He does not. He does not. Well, not
have those
Marvin
guys.
Harrison isn't. Marvin Harrison's still.
He's still at Ohio State. Yeah, but he's got. He
So
will be in the NFL.
He doesn't have a receiver who's as good
not
as
like
his
that.
college receivers.
No, I don't think so.
So who do you like?
I like the Colts.
Okay, we're both going Indy.
Yep. This one shouldn't have been interesting, but suddenly it is. San Fran at the Rams. The Rams went up to Seattle and beat the bag out of them. And they were a playoff team last year. And they were healthy.
true.
They beat them. I mean, beat them down. But San Fran, to me, is the best team in football right now. And while I think this is going to be a game, San Fran, I think, just has too much firepower. Now, the one thing that could screw it up, and you've heard his name before, and I'll say it again, is Aaron Donald. If he gets to Purdy, God help him.
Well, yeah, because then it's like what the Eagles did to them last year.
And
It's like
Aaron Donald could fuck this game up.
you knocked that quarterback out.
Yeah, Aaron Donald could fuck this game up. So I'm going San Fran based on firepower, but if that happens, and by the way, if you saw what he did last week up in Seattle, and they knew he was coming and couldn't stop him, so we'll find out. I got the Niners in a close game in Los Angeles.
Yeah, for me, like, I'm not going to believe in the Rams until I see it more.
No, but I got news for you. I don't think they're going to. Yeah,
no, I mean, that's a legitimate
that's a
win.
legitimate win. So
I didn't get to watch it, obviously, so I didn't see what it really looked like, except for that play where Gino got scared by Aaron Donald.
That was, and I'm not picking on Gino because I think most human beings,
everybody.
if they saw that man coming at them like that, would have probably reacted in a similar fashion.
Yes.
So I'm not picking on Gino there. Gino, you got a free pass on that one because any quarterback who says differently is full of shit. Okay, they're lying. If they saw that man coming at them, that's probably would have been their reaction. So the next one, the New York Giants, who have yet to show up this season, at the Arizona Cardinals, who almost won in the nation's capital.
in Washington.
This game is in Arizona. Brian Daboll, spotlight is on you.
Are you really the coach of the year, or what the fuck?
Or was it fool's gold?
Yeah.
Jury's out.
I'm going G-Man.
Jury's out. I think by virtue of the fact that you have Saquon Barkley, and I know Danny Dimes isn't that bad, and God damn it, your offensive line, talk about embarrassed.
Pathetic.
At some point, pride has to kick in here because honestly, I get the Cowboys are more talented. No one's going to argue that. But that team has pistol whipped you 9 times out of 10. Actually, you were in the couple games last year. You needed to man up, and you did. After the first drive, it's like they did one thing, and you guys they intimidated you.
Folded.
You folded like a cheap fucking suit. And I got news for you. That is not going to fly in New York. So, look, we know who the coach is out in Arizona. He was Philly's defensive coordinator. They played a hell of a game.
That's why I'm nervous.
Yeah, and you should be. Because this game's going to be close.
Because that guy knows how to beat the Giants.
Yeah, this guy, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Now, again, I give the Giants the edge based on the quarterback and the running back, and by the fact that they got fucking embarrassed on Sunday night. Dude, they got embarrassed.
If it's close, I think the Giants are going to lose.
Really?
Yes. Because I think the Giants are better than this team.
They are on paper.
And they need to just go out there and fucking,
man up.
Beat them 28
Get a pair of nuts.
10 or
I mean, seriously, you need to make the
Right.
Giants have to go out there. To your point, they need to blow their doors off.
Yes, and the Giants' defense, step the fuck up.
Yeah,
that's what are you doing?
I don't care. Look, Dallas has a good offense. I'm not saying they don't, but listen, when Dak Prescott doesn't, their quarterback didn't have to do anything.
Hey, and remember,
anything,
dude. Remember what I told you about, like, if they can't touch Dak.
Yeah.
And
they never got to him.
Dak was standing,
he had all day.
Boom, boom.
Like, he had all day.
This guy,
and he didn't do anything.
Right.
He didn't have to,
and
but he had all day.
Arizona has Josh Dobbs, who is a journeyman quarterback.
No one knows who this guy is.
Right, like. You've got to beat this.
You have to beat this team
handily.
You have to beat this team.
Yeah.
I am picking Giants because I'm going to assume that there's an ounce of pride somewhere in that locker room.
Jeez, I hope so.
Because honestly, this is about pride tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's about pride. After what happened to them on Sunday night, the coach shouldn't. To be fair with Brian Daboll, if he had to motivate this team, the wrong pieces are in that locker room.
Yes.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
He should just put up 40-0 and leave it on the doors. They see it every morning, and not say another fucking word about it. Just leave it there all fucking week. And when he comes into his pregame speech, I'm just gonna look at him and go, 40-0. Let's go. Walk out the fucking door. That's all I'd say. I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm going to say 40-0. Because when you lose 40-0, boys and girls, that's the whole fucking team. That isn't one guy. That isn't two guys. That's the entire fucking team in all three phases. That's what that is. So I'm just going to say 40-0. Fuck that. Let's go. That's it. That's my speech. And if they don't respond to that, then you got to look at personnel. Yeah. Because honestly, they shouldn't. No one, if you're a professional athlete, should sit back and take that if you have an ounce of talent. So I got the G-men also.
Their left tackle might not be playing.
I don't give a fuck if they got the JV team from fucking.
Agree.
They should no.
They should win this game.
On pride alone, they have to beat this team by at least 2 touchdowns. I don't want to hear it.
And the fact that they're staying out there because then they get the Niners on Thursday night.
On a short week.
You need this fucking
You need
game.
this win. And the hope is that the Rams look every bit as physical as they did last week, and they beat the Niners up.
Shit out of
they beat the Niners up.
Aaron Donald.
This might be the one time he roots for Aaron Donald.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't mind Aaron Donald.
Which brings us to the second 4 o'clock game. Now, this one is very interesting for obvious reasons. The New York Jets are in Big D, in Jerry's world. Ooh. A top 3 defense against a top 3 defense, or 4 defense. That's what those are 2 of the top 5
Dak
defense.
Against the top 3
Dak
defense.
against top 3 defense. Yeah, he's going to face a real defense this weekend. Look, you've heard every talk show in America talk about, and it's been all week, go with Zach Wilson, call Tom Brady, all ridiculous shit. Get this guy, go call this guy. Hey, the Rams could be out. We should call them about Matthew Stafford. Are you crazy? That's not happening. So, look, Zach Wilson is their guy. He's got to be. Because honestly, no other quarterback not named Tom Brady could come in there and have that impact. Tom Brady's the only one that could do it, okay? And he ain't coming back. Forget it. He's not doing it. He's done. He's happy. He's done. He's happy. He's not coming back. So it's Zach Wilson. He has 2 great running backs. He has an elite receiver, okay? He's got a top 4 defense in this league. Zach Wilson, you have all the pieces you need, and I'm not rooting for the Jets. Obviously, I picked them to be behind the Patriots. But Zach Wilson, enough. You were a top 3 pick in this draft. Start acting like it, okay? Because honestly, that's bullshit. They bought the more to get you. Now you have to be that guy. Because look, Aaron Rodgers is not going to play forever anyway. No. So if nothing else, like look at Jordan Love, who sat behind him for 4 years, and look at what he's doing now. Sure. You have a chance to learn. You worked with him all spring, all summer, into the fall. You need to go out there and show this fucking organization something. And he doesn't have to be great.
No.
Just take care of the fucking ball.
Be a serviceable quarterback.
Be a game manager.
Yeah.
Be a game manager. And again, he's got the pieces around him to do it.
All right.
He does.
So, you say all that.
Dallas.
Exactly. Because
I don't think that's going to happen.
The offensive line is not going to hold
Dallas
up
is
against
going
that
to
D-line.
feast on this line.
They're going to go crazy.
If I'm the Jets coach, I'm doing exactly what I did in the second half against Buffalo. I'm going 2 tight ends on the line, overloading one side, and I'm going to pound, and I'm going to run right at Micah Parsons. And I'm going to hit that man with 2 men bigger than him on every fucking play. Because that is the only chance let's be clear, that is the only chance the New York Jets have. If they avoid him, he will kill them.
The other chance they have is they need to get after Dak. And
which they
that
can.
Defensive line can.
Listen, I have no doubt the Jets' defense will keep them in this game if he doesn't turn the ball over. This will be a game in the fourth quarter.
True.
He cannot turn the ball over. I will say this about the Cowboys as a team. Nobody takes advantage of a turnover better than the Dallas Cowboys. You want to it's like a race car. You want to get out of the gate quick, that's Dallas. And the best way to do it is to give him the ball right off the bat or turn it over. They feast off that. So this kid, if now not ever, he has to take care of the football.
Right.
And
don't give your defense.
No.
Don't put them in.
Don't give Dallas a short field. You got to make Dak Prescott do what he doesn't want to do, which is drive 80 yards, 12, 13 plays, and read a very aggressive, fast defense. Because he doesn't do that well. Watch the tapes against the 49ers defense.
It's a very similar
the Jets have a very similar defense to the 49ers. And they can fuck him up if Wilson, and again, this is about the coaching staff, run that ball right at Micah Parsons, and on every play, you hit him with 2 300-pound behemoths.
Yeah, and
you beat
you got
him up.
Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook, so just rotate them.
Yeah, just rotate them. You can literally,
fresh.
I would give anything, and I hate the Jets, but I would give anything to watch this unfold.
Yeah.
Because then in the fourth quarter,
is this a 4 o'clock game?
This is 4:25.
Okay.
So you'll see the first half.
On, right?
6:30 you're playing?
No, I'm saying that should be on.
Oh, that's the national game at 4:25.
Because I think the Giants and Cardinals game is actually on on one of the networks.
Oh, Washington and Denver is the other one. We won't see it. That's next.
God.
Washington at Denver.
What a shithole of a game. And you know what?
Well, you want
picking
Denver.
Washington.
Picking Washington.
They're in my division. I'm still picking them against Sean Payton.
I have never seen a man that wanted to watch the world burn. You're like the Joker all of a sudden. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Yes.
No, some men want to watch Denver, Colorado burn.
Who do you like? All right, so we both picked Dallas.
We both picked Dallas.
then
We both picked the Giants. We both
Yeah.
picked Frisco.
Washington,
Washington is a good. I think is a good team.
Their defense has been good for years.
Yeah, and again, Chase didn't play again last week, and they still won.
I think they're better off without that guy.
I think he needs to go. He just can't stay healthy anyway.
It's too bad.
I mean, he had a
It's
great
too
rookie
bad.
year, looked like the second coming of a great defensive end, like Bruce Smith that he's never shown.
But waiting around for him, I think is.
They've been waiting for 2 years for him.
It's tough.
You see him when you see him, it's like Zion Williamson. All the talent in the world, you never fucking see him.
Can't be
It's
healthy.
frustrating as hell. And if I'm a Commanders fan, that would be driving me up a wall.
Yeah, it
but
sucks.
Denver has a good defense though. They do.
Yeah.
They are good. And look, Zach Wilson. This wasn't on him last week. I thought he played pretty well.
You mean Russell
Wilson. Whatever.
Is this going to be in Denver or is this?
It's in Denver. And that's the other thing, the altitude.
Yeah, the
that
altitude
that
puts people
stadium might be the toughest in football to play in because of that damn altitude.
Well, again, I don't think I'm picking Denver all year. That might be. There's one team I'm going to pick against every week. It's going to be Denver. I don't care who they're playing.
If Denver goes 0-2, what happens? And if Russell Wilson plays well and they go, what happens?
Well, the whispers about Mr. Payton start to come.
Well, he was 27 for 34 last week. Russell Wilson, 2 touchdown passes. He didn't have a turnover.
Well, I don't know. What do you think happens?
Well, it's only week 2. You're not going to fire anybody, but to
And
someone.
in that division, they're still.
Well, KC.
Oh, it's KC.
But the Chargers lost and KC lost. But they can't go 0.
That's that division?
Yeah, the Raiders, believe it or not, are in first place. Because they have an offense.
Right. Yeah.
But they only
they
put up
barely
17
did.
points. All right. They have talent on offense.
That's quite
They have
good.
Devontae Adams, who by the way, he had a good game. He did play well.
Played all right.
He did. He had 100 yards, I think, and a
He
touchdown.
had 66 yards.
Didn't he have a touchdown? He caught a
No.
touchdown. No,
He had like 6 catches, 66 yards.
he didn't catch that touchdown.
I don't think so because in fantasy you didn't get me that many points.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. So who
your
do you
ch-
like, Denver or Washington? That's a tough one to pick
It is.
in Denver because
I'm going to go with Denver because I think Sean Payton, as much as I don't despise him, but he does.
Much as
But
I
he's a better coach than Ron Rivera.
well, that's 100%.
And I think Denver has the better defense. And I think Denver has the better quarterback.
logically Denver wins this game.
At home, and they only lost by 1 point last weekend because Dickhead kicked an onside kick, which gave the Raiders 7 points right off the bat. I don't think he's going to do.
What the fuck are you
I still don't
doing?
know why he did that.
First play of the game, you
First
said?
play of the game, they did an onside kick.
He so wanted to be the smartest guy in that building.
He's Bill Belichick 2.0.
yeah.
Speaking of
From
Bill,
the same tree, right?
Speaking of
Well, they're
no,
both from the Parcells
They're both
tree,
from Parcells
right?
tree, yeah. Speaking of Bill Belichick, the Sunday night game, this one,
Is that the next
the
game?
Miami Dolphins in Foxborough to take on that elite Patriot defense, and hey, we have an offensive coordinator.
Don't we now?
This is going to be very, very interesting. Tyreek Hill's comments this week. Wow, Bill, here you go. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the defense is. I can't be stopped. Really, Tyreek. Now, if you did what I did, America, which what I always do when I hear someone say something like that, I look up the historical stats.
Is that what you did?
Yeah. Belichick has actually done an excellent job against Tyreek Hill of keeping him in check. He has not killed any Bill Belichick defense. Doesn't mean he hasn't gotten a touchdown there, but he hasn't gone. He's not going to do what he did last Sunday because Belichick is not stubborn or stupid enough to play that guy man to man for 48 minutes or 60 minutes. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. What they're going to do is they're going to play bump and run at the line, cover 3 over the top, and keep everything in front of them, and then tackle. And they're going to hit him. And they're going to hit him in droves because that's what they do to him. The biggest thing, though, is this. The best way to beat the Dolphins, believe it or not, is not about stopping those two. You keep them in front of me, but you got to get to Tua. Tua was not touched last week.
Yep.
He wasn't even touched.
Oh, he will be touched
He will
this
be
week.
touched tomorrow night.
Jalen Hurts was touched 3 times.
3 sacks. That's the best offensive line in football.
I mean,
and
how
the
many
Patriots
pressures did it?
a lot. Like I think it was 13 or 14. They got 3 sacks, and the Patriots were third in the NFL in sacks last year. Okay,
that is definitely the key.
Yeah, you have to get to him, and you have to get to him up the middle. If he is allowed to step up in the pocket, then you got a problem. And if you go back and watch that Charger tape, that's all he did. The rush would come from the outside. He'd step up and then zing.
Yeah, you need the
zing.
middle push.
You got to push up the middle because he's
rush.
not tall either.
Right,
You got to make him try and see over people and get up the middle. And I can't believe Belichick is not going to do that. And he has the pieces to do it. So I think the Patriots are going to win this game. And I got news for you. The offense, which is why the Pats lost him the first time, because Patricia was calling the fucking plays. Oh, I got news for you. Bill O'Brien has something dialed up for this Miami defense.
Well,
They're not going to be able to stop the Patriots on defense.
if you can put up 20 on the Eagles after giving up 16 to their
points
defense,
in a rainstorm.
right? Then I think you can dice the.
They're going to dice. The Dolphins gave up 36 points to a San Diego offense. No, San Diego has a great offense. They're going to do with a lot of teams. But the Patriots now have always had a quarterback. America. Remember, he was run up to Jamar Chase's Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, NFL, and he has a coordinator now. They're going to. And by the way, Demario Douglas, his rookie debut, the little pops there, 4 catches, 40 yards. He will get more of the load tomorrow.
I didn't realize that.
Yep, he had a good debut.
So we're both picking clam chowder here.
Yeah, we are. Well, I am. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm picking the Patriots.
I
think the Patriots are going to win this game. I think they're going to win it by 10 points, maybe even more, because they're going to get to him up the middle. And look at, as Mike Tyson once said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
Tua's going to get hit in the mouth tomorrow night.
For me,
a lot.
This is all about, and I know you and Joel were having this argument.
Mm-hmm.
I was just impressed with what Philly did with the Eagles. And you can't just look at the score and go, oh, they were in the game. No, they were out of that game in the first quarter. 16-0 down to
literally
last year's best team in the league by far.
By far.
And they fought back and
should have won.
Could have won that game.
If you look at the possessions they had and where they were, they should have won that game.
Yeah. So that impressed me.
Yeah,
I think they're legit.
They are legit.
So,
I don't think. There were people in Philly. I'm like getting upset because the Patriots almost beat them. I'm like, the Pats missed the playoffs by 1 game last year, and they had that idiot coaching their offense. Yeah. That idiot's gone. Okay, and that defense was top 10 last year. It's top 5 this year. And if that coach is what everybody claims he is, they still have the greatest coach of all time on the sidelines.
Yeah. So and I also think Philly's maybe just a notch under where they were last year.
Yeah, they'll catch up
because of the changes they were at.
Yeah, they will. They still have that offense is still intact.
Yeah,
the Patriots defense held that offense to 18 points.
That's good.
And a touchdown was run back by the defense. They did not break 20 on the Patriots. Yeah. So this Miami offense is going to have a very hard time against this defense that can do multiple coverages. Tua's never going to see the same coverage twice. I got news for you. He better be studying this week. Because the Pats aren't going to come out and go, hey, we're going to go man-to-man for 60 minutes, and we're going to tee these guys up. We're going to go mano-a-mano. We're going to shut them down. No, he ain't going to do that. And the thing is, Bill Belichick has better corners than the Chargers. He actually could try it. He won't. He won't do it. He's not stupid. He's not going to let Tyreek Hill get behind his defense. It ain't going to happen. So they're going to have to go 12, 14 plays, and good luck. Pats by 10 at least tomorrow night. Monday night, now again, 2 games.
You were right, 2 games.
2 games, yeah. And by the way, 2 pretty good ones. New Orleans and Carolina. We went to see the kid from Alabama, Bryce Young.
Oh, that's right.
That's in his home debut. They were on the road at Atlanta, home debut. That's 7:15 ESPN. And then at 8:15, Cleveland at Pittsburgh, who got their doors blown off in week 1.
And Cleveland beat Cincy.
Yeah, badly.
Looking to go 2-0 in the division.
And Pittsburgh
would be a game changer.
Pittsburgh got bum blasted last Sunday by San Francisco. That was the other woodshed beating.
Yeah.
San Fran beat them up.
Well, San Fran's on a different level than Pittsburgh. And I think
they are. But the thing is, but getting beat is one thing. Getting manhandled is another.
But it was kind of like the Giants in my opinion.
Yeah, but Mike Tomlin rarely gets manhandled.
I know, but when you talk about, but it's like looking at Dable and going, Dable's such a good coach. Yeah. When the talent disparity is that big,
look at Pittsburgh's roster. They have a better roster. They have a better roster than the Giants do.
I'm talking about the Niners, comparing them to the
Niners. I think are the best team in the league.
But that's what I'm saying. The disparity, it's almost like.
But it should have been closer than that.
I don't know, man.
Those 2 receivers are both ones that
you're talking about a second-year quarterback.
Yeah.
Who really hasn't proven anything.
But that Niners, that Steeler front seven when healthy is very formidable, and McCaffrey of all people ran through them.
I know, but
McCaffrey's is a finesse. He's not a smash mouth back.
But okay, so Niners top 3 O-line in the game.
Are they top 3?
I think they are.
I
mean,
got
it's Philly, Dallas,
Detroit is very, very, very good.
Dude, but the Niners too, man.
I think the Niners are better because they have better weapons on the outside than most people. They have 3 guys.
They have a really good offensive line.
They do, but I don't know if they're top 3.
They're built in the trenches.
They are. Their defense is top. That front seven's amazing. But again, they're right. To me, the Patriots and the Jets are right there with them, and so is Dallas, by the way. Dallas' front seven
but
is
you
right
still
there.
haven't said anything about Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's front seven which has never, when it's healthy. Watt might be the best.
He's nothing like San Fran's though.
No, they're never healthy for a season. You never get to see him. Last year they were 9-8, and he missed half the season. Mm-hmm. If I take who's the guy on San Fran? If I take Bosa out of San Fran's front seven, they're not the same defense. They're not. He's the same. It's the same impact.
But they're still probably better. I think they're better than Pittsburgh if you take.
I think Pittsburgh is winning Monday night because this is a pride thing. And they got pistol whipped.
It's in Pittsburgh?
It's in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's winning this game. They're not going to get manhandled twice in a row. Mike Tomlin is not going to let this happen.
Yeah, I don't really like the Cleveland team.
I do.
I don't like Myles Garrett. I don't like Deshaun Jackson.
No, I don't like him as people, but their talent, Deshaun Watson, I don't like him at all. But, I mean, he should be in jail as far as I'm concerned. But the bottom line is they have talent. Nick Chubb is he's really the real deal. But Pittsburgh, I think, because of what happened there, usually in the NFL, when you get teams like this, the desperate team, Pittsburgh cannot, to his point, go 0-2 in this division. They cannot.
Dude, but for Cleveland to go up 2-0 would be huge. Big for them.
But this is why I think Pittsburgh wins, because Pittsburgh knows if they go down 0-2 in that division, they're fucked. They're fucked.
They really are.
They're fucked. They cannot go 0-2 in that division. They're going to win this game. I think it's going to be close. Because I think Cleveland is better this year, Deshaun. And Watson didn't have a great game, but he was a dual threat. He got a run. But Pittsburgh is going to be more ready for this game than they've ever been because they know if they go 0-2, they're in deep trouble.
I'm going Cleveland.
All right, I'm going Pittsburgh. What about the Carolina-New Orleans game? We didn't decide that one.
I like New Orleans in that game.
I do too. I do too.
If you saw the numbers for Bryce Young in that passing attack against Atlanta,
who doesn't have a great secondary.
Yeah,
New Orleans has a defense.
New Orleans has a legitimate defense.
They do. They're a top 10
They're the only legitimate team in the South because of that defense.
Well,
and now they have Derek
Tampa's
Carr.
defense when healthy.
That's true.
There's 2 legitimate defenses in that division.
But Tampa doesn't feel like a legit team to me.
Not yet, but if they win this Sunday, which I think they're gonna be 2-0.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So with Tampa was always about, can this quarterback not fuck it up?
But the fact that New Orleans got Derek Carr to pair with that defense,
I think
I'm still surprised that New Orleans barely won last week.
Tennessee, Vrabel can coach. Derrick Henry didn't go away.
That's true.
He's good. Derrick Henry's a Hall of Famer. We know this.
Without a doubt.
DeAndre Hopkins is a Hall of Famer. It's not like that. The problem with Tennessee is the fucking quarterback. It's still the fucking quarterback. I don't know why they keep dancing around this. Get rid of that fucking bum and draft a fucking quarterback. Before Derrick Henry is old and gray. You're wasting him.
Well, the guy they drafted, they can't trust to throw 5 passes.
He's not the guy they should have drafted.
Malik Willis or whatever his name is.
They could have got other quarterbacks.
But then they drafted Will Levis from Kentucky. But he's not going to see the field unless they suck all year.
Yeah, I don't
right?
know either. Probably not. Yeah. Well, if Ryan Tannehill keeps doing that, he will.
Well, they'll probably go to the other guy, though.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
But last year,
I think Ryan
Tannehill's throw 10 passes.
Ryan Tannehill's days are numbered. They got to be.
So
anyway,
are we both going New Orleans?
Yeah, we are. Okay. Yeah. And then I'm going Pittsburgh. He's going Cleveland. So there you go. So those are our picks. That's segment 1. We're going to come back segment 2. We're going to have the Colorado Buffaloes on. We'll be talking about that game. And we're going to discuss this goddamn rule that is driving everyone up in arms, and with good reason. You saw what happened Thursday night. We will go over. It's not the first time that changed the game, by the way. We'll go over that. Tom has an interesting take on this, and I want to break it down. I think he's onto something. So we'll talk about that in segment 2. It is slug them down, suck them back, stoke them up, whatever you want to call it.
Dion came out with Lil Wayne. They're getting a little.
This might be a woodshed.
They're getting a little.
Well, The Rock was on the. Was
little
there.
Crazy.
You see my pictures I put up of The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Rock was there.
Did you see? Dion was like shocked that The Rock came out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he loves The Rock. He bowed to The Rock, and The Rock tried to bow to him. It was awesome. And then Lee Corso's 400th career pick. I love he put the Buffalo. That was awesome. That was fun.
It's still 0-0.
Well, we got to put it on. All right, we'll be back segment 2. Grab a cold one, smoke them up, whatever you want to do. We're going to talk to Betty Joe, but we'll see what happens. But we'll be back segment 2. We're going to break down or start watching that game. We're going to talk about this rule.
Ooh, Colorado State picked off the door.
Not good.
Yikes.
Only worse than that is what he just did. Anyway, we'll see you. See you in a few minutes.